Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and next double honors to the head apostles, / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety. To all you sincere Akim, keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of what people hear and whether they forbear. All right, and this lesson is going to be entitled something to the effect of it's always some money behind it. All right. And the reason for this lesson is because in lieu of all the things that have happened over yesterday and today, all right, with one of the guys being outed for some unjust dealings, which I'm not going to pretend that I know any of the details of the situation. That has nothing to do with me, but I saw it as an opportunity to bring out an edifying lesson. All right. So it's going to be going into how, money can cause a lot of problems, all right, if you allow it to, and pretty much just how to handle money wisely, okay? Because, money can be a trap, it can be a snare, all right? And personally, I don't really lend money to people. If I give someone money, I consider it a gift. If they say they're going to pay me back, then that's fine. But if they don't, I don't expect it. All right, and this is the particular reason why, because, it's this kind of situation happens, and a lot of times, money is one of the main factors that causes people to split, but at the end of the day, it's all through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and to the guy that is in question, he seemed like a good brother to me, but, once again, I don't know any details or anything, but at the same time, I'm just going to, pray that the Lord's will be done. All right, whatever it is, and if he's a sincere brother, he's going to continue to do the work. All right, it happens, things happen. It could have just been, unwise decisions on handling money. But with that being said, this is a trap and a snare to a lot of people. All right, and the people of the world, all right, money is their god. Okay, so I want to bring out some scriptures first on pretty much the insignificance of money, just how little it really means in the grand scheme of things, okay? And then also on some wise words from the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, on how to deal and handle with money, all right? Okay, so bear with me one sec. All right, so I'm going to start off in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6, all right? And it says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. All right. That is a phrase that every brother that's in this truth, brother and sister that's in this truth, all right, can learn and needs to learn. All right. Remember that. Godliness with contentment is great gain. All right. Godliness. Okay. Being close to the Most High. Living according to the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. All right. Keeping your mind occupied in prophecy. All right. Moving in the fear of the Lord. Okay. Godliness with contentment is great gain. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to the blue letter and get the definitions on these words. All right. So it says the word for godliness, Strong's G 2150.
Strong's G 2150, Eusebia.
All right, Eusebia, and it means piety. Okay, and I believe that word piety goes into fearing the Lord. All right, especially the gospel, godliness or holiness. All right, reverence or respect, piety towards God. That's godliness, moving in the fear of the Lord. All right, and what does piety mean? It says the quality of being religious or reverent, devoutness, being devout to this truth. All right, once again, preaching the word, living according to the prophecies, reading and studying, keeping your mind occupied in prophecies, all right, and not just being a hearer or a reader of the word, but being a doer of the word. All right, so that is godliness with contentment is great gain. All right, let's see what it says for contentment. Strong's G 841.
Strong's G 841, Austarkaya.
Contentment means self-satisfaction, Okay, competence, sufficiency. All right, knowing that what the Lord gives you is enough. All right, contentment. All right, it says a perfection. It's like a perfect condition of life in which no aid or support is needed. All right, which we always need the aid and support of Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai. All right, but that alone is enough. All right, these scriptures are everything that we need. All right, Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai. This is the aid and our support. These words of hope, these words of prophecy. It says sufficiency of the necessities of life. So what we have is sufficient. All right, what the Lord has blessed us with is sufficient. And we're going to read that coming up in the next few verses. It says, a mind contented with its lot. All right, content with this lot. Okay, we know according to the prophecies that this is not the life where this is not the world where much glory doth abide. All right, so we're content with where the Lord has placed us, knowing that that He has placed us exactly where He wants us to be. All right. 1 Timothy 6 and 7 now. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, all right, which is what we need. These are the principal things for life. Having food and raiment, let us be there with content. All right. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. All right. I'm not saying that this brother has some kind of money lust or anything like that, but maybe he just made some choices that weren't good choices, obviously, and it led to consequences. All right. Because there's consequences for every action. But if he's sincere, hey, he's going to continue to do the work, and may the Lord have mercy on him. Right? But only time will tell. Now, but this is, this scripture really applies to the people of the world. All right? But they that will be rich, because the people of the world, they're constantly chasing riches and wealth, fame. All right? What's going to happen to them? They will fall into temptation and a snare. Let's get a scripture right quick. I think it's Proverbs, the 28th chapter. All right? It says, 23rd chapter. And it's in the 28th. Okay. This is the one I'm looking for, though. Proverbs 28 and 22, it says, he that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye. Are you chasing money? Are you going to have an evil eye? Meaning you're going to have, wickedness. The scriptures say, let thy eye be single. And if that, let's just get it right quick. I don't want to butcher it. All right. Matthew 6. Okay. Matthew 6. And let's see, where is it at? Boom. All right, Matthew 6 and 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Single as in what? Meaning 110% focused, seeking the Lord 10 times more. All right, that's what your eye should be focused on. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? All right, so those who are chasing money, they have an evil eye. All right, their eyes are not focused on the light, so they're full of darkness. They're full of wickedness, evil. It says, and they considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. All right, why? Because when you live in a lifestyle of wickedness, what is the Lord going to do? All right, Ecclesiastes 2 and 26 says, for the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. All right. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before the Most High. All right. So to the sinner he gives you travail, meaning hard times, stress, adversity. All right. To gather and to heap up. All right. That he may give to him that is good before God. All right. So all the wealth of the wicked is going to be transferred unto those that are righteous anyway. So you're wasting your time, chasing money on this side, and it's a major snare for the people of the world. You keep your eyes single on the Lord. This is what he says. He says, Sirach 26 and 4, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall rejoice at all times. He shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. All right. Beautiful. Let me see. Isaiah 26 and 3. That's what I'm thinking of. Guarantee that's it. Boom. Keep your eyes single on the Lord. Isaiah 26 and 3. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. All right. That's what your mind got to be focused on. Proverbs 23 and 4. I'm just flowing in the spirit. It says, labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. All right. Don't labor to be rich. Okay. Because going back, what does it say? Okay. 1 Timothy 6 and 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil. All right, the love of money, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. All right, so they chasing that money, chasing that dollar. All right, you err from the faith. All right, you know, when you start focusing on money, as I said, me personally, money and the truth don't mix at all. I don't, you know, like I don't really ask for money. If it ever came down to it where I was in a dire strait and I had to, I would try to make it as minimal as possible. All right, I think maybe one time, the whole time I've been around the brothers, have I asked the camp for a small amount, like maybe $20 or something, because I was on my last few dollars and I was getting paid the next day. But you know, money and the truth don't mix. And then, you know, I've of course returned the favor, and I've put money in the camp and all that. And you know, if a brother needs help and I got it, I'm gonna help him. But I don't expect to be paid back. All right. So I'm not gonna, and that's another. We're gonna go into that later, okay? With the Sirach, the 29th chapter, it gives good advice on money practices and lending money and all those kind of things, because you know, of course you want to help the brother, help the brothers out, but at the same time you have to use wisdom. All right, everything got to be done decently and in order, okay? But anyways, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil. All right, people that they made money their god. All right, it leads them to many sorrows, to destruction. All right, to wickedness. Okay, it leads you astray. It leads you away from following and serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, so just beware of that. All right, brothers and sisters. Mostly speaking to the brothers, because you're in positions of leadership. All right, and to much is given, much is required. This is Sirach, the 29th chapter. I'm going to read it in the KJV and then in the Good News. All right. It says, verse 1, He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. Keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. So it says, deal justly with money. That's what it's about. All right. If it's in the power of your hand, lend to your brother that needs help. You know, and like I said, for me, I just straight up gift. You know, I don't even lend money out, because lend money means you expect to be paid back. I don't even expect to be paid back. I'm just not going to give out money that it's going to hurt me if I give it out, and it'll go into that later. This is just using wisdom, all right, which is why I love the Book of Sirach, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, because it's good practical, you know, knowledge you can use in your day-to-day life, all right. But you know, continuing on, it says, many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped them. See, so a lot of people, when money's lent out to them, they give the person that lent the money to them a hard time to pay it back. All right, and you don't want to be that guy, because you know, if you do that, then people aren't going to trust you, and a good name is important, especially among the brothers, man. You know, or you know, we all we got in this world, you know, and the Lord said that he who even offends a little one, you know, what you do to them, you do to me. All right, what you do to the believers, you do to the Lord. All right, so you know, we got to make sure we're dealing with each other decently and in order. All right, righteously, justly. All right, that's what it's all about, brotherly love. Okay. Continuing on, it says, verse 5, till he hath received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money he will speak submissively. But when he should repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time. All right, so he get the money and it's all good. You know, he's all, you know, talking good stuff. Oh, yeah, I got you. I'm going to pay you back, yada, yada. But then when it comes time to actually pay back, now he's like, oh, why you sweating me? Like, nigga, you just gave me the money, blah, 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 a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Why you sweating me? You know I got bills to pay and all this kind of stuff. You give him a hard time about it. The Lord said, don't do that. All right. If he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count it as if he had found it. If not, he hath deprived him of his money, and he hath gotten him an enemy without cause. See, so this, you know, unjust dealings with money cause you to have enemies without cause. All right, brothers turn on you. Okay, and this is an example of what's happened. Like I said, I don't know the details, so I'm not going to bear false witness. I don't know exactly what went on behind the scenes. It's none of my business. This is just a moment for edification. All right, it says, he payeth him with cursings and railings, and for honor he will pay him disgrace. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded. Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. So if you do lend, right, and the brother is in a low estate and he's having a hard time paying you back, don't give him too hard of a time, because at the end of the day, the Lord is the one he's really the one that's gonna pay you back for your goodwill. I think, let me get a precept on that. I think it's Proverbs 13th chapter. Oh crap, Salakia. Let me see. Bear with me. Maybe it's, hang on. He that giveth to the poor lends to God himself. Let me see. Maybe it's Proverbs. I don't know. I think. Proverbs 19:17. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So when you give money to a brother, you know what I'm saying, and he's destitute, don't give him too hard of a time, but at the same time, you got to give wisely. Proverbs 19:17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Yahweh, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Continuing on. Sirach 29 and verse let me see, Sirach 29 and let's see, where am I at? Okay, 9. It says, help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. So it's actually honorable to give, to give alms. All right, that's what that's called, giving alms. It's honorable to do that. All right, and there's a scripture that says alms deliver from death. I believe something like that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that right quick. It's in the book of Sirach as well. All right, let me see. All right, Sirach. Let's see. Sirach 12:3. Okay, there's a few scriptures on it. Boom, a whole lot of scriptures. I just run them down the line. Sirach 3:30. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms make an atonement for sins. Beautiful. Be not faint-hearted when thou makest thy prayer, and neglect not to give alms. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. The alms of a man is a signet with him, and he will keep the good deeds of man as the apple of the eye, and give repentance to his sons and daughters. Beautiful. Okay. Look at this. Sirach 40:24. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both. Boom. Beautiful. All right. And Tobit, he was a righteous man that gave alms. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna get Tobit 4:16. Okay. It says, man. Okay, Tobit 4 and woo, man, this whole chapter 4. All right, Tobit 4:7 gives alms of thy substance when thou givest alms. Let not thine eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of God shall not be turned away from thee. And I'm just keep reading on down the verses. All right, verse 8 now. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou have but little, be not afraid to give according to that little. Verse 10, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness. For alms is a gift, a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. Give thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked, and according to thine abundance give alms, and let not thine eye be envious when thou givest alms. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. For alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that execute alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. All right, so the Lord sees that very pleasantly when you sacrifice for a brother. All right, Sirach 29:11. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. Shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from affliction. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and a strong spear. An honest man is surety for his neighbor, but he that is impudent will forsake him. Okay, now it just goes into, man, okay, I'm gonna read it all. I gotta go in a few minutes. I got some stuff to go do, but I'm gonna finish this out. I'm gonna read the Good News translation too. Okay, verse 15: Forget not the friendship of thy surety, for he hath given his life for thee. A sinner will overthrow the good estate of his surety, and he that is an unthankful mind will leave him in danger that delivered him. Sureship have undone many of good estate, and shaken them as a wave of the sea. Mighty men hath it driven from their houses, so that they wandered among strange nations. A wicked man transgressing the commandments of the Lord shall fall into sureship, and he that undertaketh and followeth other men's businesses for gain shall fall into suits. I'm going to read verse 20 and then get the good news. Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. All right, so, you got to be doing it in wisdom. All right, let's read this in the Good News Translation. I'm going to read verses 1 through 20 and close out. All right. Okay. Sirach. Oh, this is wrong. I was looking at it like, what? Sirach 29. Good News Translation. It's entitled Loans and Repayment. It says, be kind enough to lend to your neighbor when he needs help. You are keeping the Lord's commands if you help him. If he needs something, lend it to him, and when you are in debt, pay it back as soon as you can. If you meet your obligations, you will always be able to borrow what you need. Many people treat a loan as something they found they can keep, causing embarrassment to those who help them. All right, why? Because they expect you to pay them back. Some people will speak politely, bow, and scrape until they get the loan they want, but when the times come to pay it back, they'll put it off and say that it's inconvenient and make a lot of worthless excuses. If the lender insists on being paid, he can count himself lucky to get back half. If he doesn't insist, the borrower has robbed him and made an unnecessary enemy. All the lender will get from him are curses, insults, and disrespect, but never any gratitude. That's Jake right there, all the way 110%, man. Many people refuse to lend at all, not because they are stingy, but because they don't want to be cheated if they can avoid it. All right, now this next part is called generosity. All right, it says, nevertheless, be understanding with those who are poor. Don't keep them waiting for your generosity. The Lord has commanded us to help the poor. Don't refuse them the help they need. It is better to lose your money by helping a relative or a friend than to lose it by letting it rest under a rock somewhere. All right. Using your wealth as the Most High has commanded, this will do you more good than keeping your money for yourself. Count among your treasures the fact that you give to the poor. It will save you from all kinds of trouble and will be a better defense against your enemies than the strongest shield or stoutest spear. Beautiful. All right. And I'm going to close out with that. This other part, it's, I'll go ahead and read it. It's only a few more verses. Okay. It's entitled Guaranteeing Debts. Okay. Sirach 29:14 in the Good News. A good man is willing to guarantee his neighbor's debts. Only someone who has lost all sense of decency will refuse to do so. If someone does this favor for you, don't forget it. He has risked his good name for you. There are some ungrateful sinners who abandon those who stand behind them, and they cause them loss of property. Guaranteeing loans has ruined many prosperous people and caused them unsettling storms of trouble. Influential people have lost their homes over it and have had to go wandering in foreign countries. A sinner who hopes to make a profit by guaranteeing a loan is going to find himself involved in lawsuits. So help your neighbor as much as you can, but protect yourself against the dangers involved. And that's the crux of it right there. All right, dealing with money pretty much wisely. All right, that's what it is. All right, but don't fall out behind a few fake dollars, man. All right, Babylon the Great is getting ready to be destroyed. Anyways, the currency is getting ready to go down. Anyways, so it doesn't matter at the end of the day. All right, we got to keep our eyes single on the righteousness of the Lord, and this is the reason why I close out with this. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. All right. Lord's will, this was edifying. As always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Until next time, Shalom.